no matter what.
Hey guys, I'm Shane3X, welcome back to My Gamers. This is part 2 of Executive Order, so if you haven't seen part 1, please go do that. Please also read the description and make sure your annotations are on. Now, this is a pretty big fail on my part. I die. Oh, I don't die, I just miss. As you can see, the sort of rocket went through the bottom of the ship and it didn't do anything, so... let's ignore that. Don't actually ask me why I included that, I have no idea. But anyway, yeah, so... make sure you blow up the wall too, but not next to you, just move back a bit. There's nothing in there of value, I don't think there's any intel in there. When I do my intel guide, I will check all the areas for you. There's no achievements in that room either, so don't worry about it.
It's too late, I can't stop it.
So Ice Cube gives you a Valkyrie rocket, and you just gotta hit that rocket that's lifting off.
Now!
Okay, so once that's done, you can lose the crossbow now, because if you've been following my guide, you probably are not going to have any explosive bolts left, and you won't really need them either. Actually, it would help if you could have them, but it doesn't matter. You can pass the next section, it's fine. You will actually be using the AK for the most part until a certain section, which I call the difficult section. Oh, don't ever pick up those shotguns, they're horrible, just don't. If you're ever that close to any enemy within the game, you're doing it wrong, just don't, okay? This area contains, I think, 6 enemies, don't quote me on that, but about 6 enemies. Now, I'm just going to have to repeat this again, but you can rely on your teammates to help you, but you can't rely on them to kill. And a lot of the time, the AI will take the lead. This isn't one of those times. You're going to have to push forward, and it's probably going to annoy the hell out of you. You know, I've had my fair share of rage moments, but I just go, oh, every single time I die. I don't actually know why I told you that, but whatever. Let's ignore that, guys, ignore that. Okay, there are some explosive barrels, so it'd be helpful if you could shoot those. You'd get rid of the elevator. I think there's at least 10 guys in this area. So, as you move up, you'll probably find a couple more popping up somewhere. And this level does contain the infinite enemy spawn thing Call of Duty has been known for. In Call of Duty 4, if you've played it, you will know what I mean. The enemies will constantly spawn until you reach a certain checkpoint. It's a bit BS, I know, but there's nothing you can do about it. Modern Warfare 2 was a lot better. I don't think it happened at all. In Black Ops, there are a couple of moments where this happens, and it is a pain in the ass to do. We haven't quite reached that section yet, so we're almost there though, so don't worry about it. You'll get to rage plenty of times. Yeah, just make use of cover. Make sure you're fully reloaded. This is what I enjoy dual mag attachment weapons for, because I reload a lot. I'll reload after I use 2 bullets, I'll reload after I still have half a clip. I just constantly reload, so that's just a habit, I can't help it. I like to have full bullets, you know, just in case. Okay, here we go, this is the fun part. I die at least twice. You know, I've only ever managed to do this mission once without dying at all, and that was pretty epic. Okay, so once you get up to this room, I like to throw in a couple of grenades. That helps. Also, make sure you shoot all the machines, because the machines do blow up and they do cause you pain. You can shoot the machines and kill enemies with them, so that helps. But make sure if you're using machines as cover that you've destroyed them first before you do, because I've died a couple of times where I was using machine to camp, and then someone shot the machine and I died with the resulting explosion. Can't help that, but you know, I'll make sure you run away from grenades, like far away. Don't ever pick them up, that's just because you don't know how long they've been cooked for. Generally they won't have been cooked at all, but you can't, you know, it's veteran, you don't want to take that risk, especially when you've gotten so far, and to die before you reach the checkpoint is not fun. Okay, so at this point I've swapped my crossbow for one of these submachine guns here. Definitely, if you can get an extended mag one or a dual mag one, that would help. Don't ever just get one on its own unless there's nothing else available. It would go no attachment, ACOG, and then the rest of them. So, a tip for this area is I like to hang back here, and then I like to rush forward. Now, to time this right, you will need to use your smoke grenades. Smoke grenades are absolute lifesaver here. I definitely would not recommend using them at any point except now. But I do die twice before I actually finish the level, so you won't get to see the best use of them until, let's see, for another 3-4 minutes. So, although most of the techniques I use the first 2 times I die are the same techniques I always use, except, you know, things happen, you can't do much, you just gotta deal with it. Make sure if you're hurt that you get fully healed before you decide to move out again. I know it's very tempting to keep shooting even though you're hurt, but that will cause you to die a lot. It's not fun. But, you know, that's why we're here. We're here to learn how to pass the mission properly. And make sure you just take a note of where all the crates are, where all the gaps in the walls are and things like that you can use as cover, because after I die again, you will see how I use things. So here I am just throwing grenades. Oh, yeah, that was my bad. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, this part here is where, not this room, but the hallway after this room is where infinite enemies spawn. You know, I've spent at least 15 minutes trying to battle them, trying to see if they stop, but they don't, so you will have to sort of push eventually. As you can see there, you can't rely on your AI teammates to kill anybody, so you do have to be on your toes. Just as a general comment, Black Ops enemies are a lot harder to kill than previous games. I mean, some games you can use one bullet and enemies would go down. With that mod, with Black Ops, you need at least a couple for anyone to go down. And when they, you know, how they roll and stuff like that, that definitely helps them survive a lot longer. Sometimes it's a problem, sometimes it's not. It doesn't matter too much, but just take a note that they do roll, they do try to use the cover a lot more. It does get annoying sometimes when you're stuck in this area. Yeah, so as I mentioned, this is the hallway with the infinite spawning enemies. You could be here all day battling them and I'm pretty sure it would never stop. So you will have to rush through. I die in about 10 seconds, so just give it a second. I keep the deaths in there just to show you what can happen, what can go wrong, what not to do. Things like that, so because there's no point showing you a run through where you never die and not giving you advice on why you died and things like that. So, you know, I want my guys to actually help you guys, not just to, you know, show off, oh look at me, I'm so pro skill elite. No, I'm not like that. So again, we've thrown a couple of grenades in, we've swapped the crossbow to a submachine gun. And now you'll get to see how to use the smoke grenades properly to advance, because it's very difficult to, you know, move forward when enemies are constantly shooting at you. Like I said, it is tempting to continue to shoot even though you're hurt, but just don't. Trust me, it will save you a lot of trouble. Oh, sorry about that, guys. What's going on here? I'm not quite sure. Yeah, so just slowly keep pushing. Once you think it's safe, move over to that area I've always run to. there's not too much of a mission to go, but because of the number of enemies and the difficulty, it does take a lot longer than it really should. When I haven't died and I've gone through a good game, it took me only sort of 20-25 minutes. The dying usually adds 5-10 minutes onto the time. And it's mainly this section that will cause you the most problems. All the other sections are relatively easy until this point. And that's mainly because of the spawning enemies, and because of the fact you can't really rely on your AI teammates too much. I mean, they'll sometimes kill people, they'll sometimes help, but don't rely on them to cover your back when you need it the most, because they're not going to do it. Okay, so if we look at the hallway, there's some crates to the left, there's a truck to the right, and then there's an empty space a little bit further back towards the left. So what we want to do is we want to throw a smoke grenade past all three of those things, and that will allow us to get to the space on the left. And then we want to use another smoke grenade to get into the room on the right. And you'll get to see that shortly. I also do cut off the video a little bit early, but that's to try to make it within YouTube's 15-minute limit, so apologies, but you know, the guide's helping you, so it doesn't matter too much. It's only one enemy that you miss. It's not like it's a whole section or anything. Okay, so as you can see, I've thrown a smoke grenade quite far. Make sure you spray. Okay, as you can see, there's the crates there. There's the gap on the left, and there's the truck. Okay, so once you've cleared the enemies, you know, throw whatever grenades you have left. The main point is you want to secure this crate as your new camp spot, and make sure you're reloaded, and then once the smoke disappears, throw another smoke, and that should get you to the next area.
Reloading.
Okay, now there's a room on your right, just a little bit further up. I throw one more smoke, and that will usually cover your run to it. Make sure you kill the guys on the left, but the main point is to actually kill the guys in the room, because there are at least 3-4 guys here. And once your bot teammates move up, you can move up through the room, clearing it. I usually take the bottom part of the room because at least the enemies can't see you through the window. And having that spare SMG does always help. Okay, if you have any more smoke grenades, I definitely would throw them sort of into the next room. But if not, don't worry about it too much. Okay, just a note, there are 1 or 2 enemies towards your right, and then a bunch of enemies spawn through that room across the hall. You do want to make sure you get to the checkpoint, because if you do not get to the checkpoint, you'll have to start all the way back at, you know, when I was dying. So you definitely don't want to do that, because that will cause you rage like no other. So just play it safe. Once you think you can get to the next area, just sprint and do whatever you can to stall until the checkpoint appears. Just, come on. There we go. Okay, now you're safe. Now you don't have to do that all over again, because that would probably annoy a lot of you. And now, so just keep following the guys. There are about 3-4 enemies in this section, and then once you move up, 3 or 4 gas guys come through the smoke, and that's the end of the level. I'm gonna, you know, call it a day. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the guide. I hope it helps. Please leave down comments below if you need further help or just want to talk about stuff for the game. So, yeah.
Frag out.